Coming up on CPTV, we sit down with Crown Point Mayor Pete Land ahead of his State of the City address. President Donald Trump concludes his first international trip of his second term, and CPHS names the new face of the girls basketball program. CPTV is up next. Hi, I'm Ryan Welsh.
And I'm Ari Pantoja.
Welcome to CPTV. Later on in the show, Rana Stevens will have your 5-day weather forecast, and MiRey Fernandez will bring us all the highlights in CP sports.
Here's what's happening in and around Crown Point High School.
Due to weather concerns earlier this week, Crown Point Mayor Pete Land's State of the City address was postponed until June 3rd. CPTV photojournalist Aidan Hailema got an exclusive interview with Land yesterday to get a preview of what he will be addressing on June 3rd.
Some of the things I was going to address tonight's State of the City would be, one, it's just the overall, the past year's accomplishments that each department has accomplished, the activities, besides that, so that involves development, our public works, police, fire, everything. We kind of give a snapshot of what last year's activities entailed. And then we also, as part of the State of the City, we want to recognize certain businesses that have achieved milestone years of service. It's very important. Our business community is the bread and butter of our city. So I like to be able to take 5 or 6 businesses that have 25 plus years in business and recognize them as well.
President Donald Trump has returned from the first major international trip of his second term, visiting Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates. The trip focused on strengthening economic ties, securing significant defense and technology agreements, and promoting regional stability. In Saudi Arabia, Trump signed a $142 billion arms deal. In Qatar, he witnessed the largest ever Boeing aircraft order and secured over $10 billion in defense contracts. The UAE announced plans for a major AI data center in Abu Dhabi. Notably, Trump met with Syrian President Ahmed al-Sharaa, marking the first such meeting since 2000, and called for Syria to join the Abraham Accords. This move has drawn criticisms from some quarters, including Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, who expressed concerns over the U.S. approach to Gaza and Iran. While the tour has bolstered U.S. Gulf relations, questions remain about its impact on broader regional dynamics and the ongoing conflict in Gaza. A bizarre and concerning trend is emerging in local schools, which students are reportedly inserting pencil lead into the USB and charging ports of their school-issued Chromebooks. While some believe it's a form of vandalism or a misguided prank, the damage is real and costly. Many school officials are now scrambling to respond as the issue spreads, potentially leaving hundreds of devices unusable in school districts throughout the nation.
CPHS's class of 2025 gathered Friday night for their second to last time in the annual tradition of Friday Night Lights, an evening of games, prizes, food, and fun. Seniors received gift bags with CPHS t-shirts, treats, and attempted to relax under the stadium lights with lawn chairs and blankets. The only hindrance, a highly unusual dust storm which pushed through the region for about an hour. After a brief retreat to the field house, activities resumed on the football field and included spikeball, cornhole, outdoor bowling, and inflatables, while Gelsasmo's pizza and desserts rounded out the night. The 2025 Papal Conclave has reached a significant decision with the election of the new Pope, Leo XIV. In a startling move, Leo was the first American to be elected Pope within the Roman Catholic Church. Pope Leo has deep roots, having grown up in the southern suburbs of Dalton, Illinois. CPTV's Trent Jocelyn has a look into the values and priorities we might expect of Pope Leo during his papacy.
Robert Francis Prevost, now formerly known as Pope Leo XIV, grew up within the Catholic Church and ascended to become the Pope of the Roman Catholic Church. Prevost comes from Dalton, Illinois, and the citizens of Chicago have expressed much love and appreciation for their new pope. In his honor, local vendors have released merchandise, including a Chicago White Sox jersey, accompanied by videos of Prevost attending a Sox game in 2005. Portillo's also joined in on this celebration by renaming one of their popular sandwiches the Leo for the month of May. He progressed through the ranks of the Catholic Church, becoming a priest in Rome in 1982, a bishop in 2014, a cardinal in 2023, and finally being elected Pope in 2025. During his inaugural Mass, Pope Leo pledged to emphasize unity and love for the Church. His message echoed some of Pope Francis's key priorities, but his call for unity was especially significant given the polarization within the Catholic Church in the United States and beyond. For CPTV, I'm Trent Jocelyn.
The Crown Point Community School Corporation has announced the school district teachers and staff of the year. Here's Gavin Chambers with more on this year's winners.
Hannah Rizzo is a special education teacher at Solon Robinson and the elementary teacher of the year for CPCSC. Melanie Posiesk, the assistant principal at Solon, described her as an exceptional communicator and unrelentingly dedicated to her students and our school community.
I think this award is a huge win for special education as a whole. And I think what sets me apart from an average teacher is just my skill set and my drive for inclusion and my belief in inclusion, and that every kid deserves a chance to achieve whatever they want to achieve and a chance to be believed in.
Christine Maurer is the treasurer of Eisenhower and the staff member of the year. Principal Callie Dotto has described her as the heart of our school's front office and said that her positive attitude makes everyone, staff, parents, and students, feel valued and supported. Carrie Quinn, art teacher at Crown Point High School, is the secondary school teacher of the year, and we spoke to her to give us some words about the award.
I'd like to think my main description is creating a safe place for students to foster creativity on a daily basis. Really, in the grand scheme of it, I think this award and what it brings to me is what I've manifested throughout my career. I'm hitting year 10 next year, and when I was in this classroom in high school, I sat in the very back corner of this exact room, and I knew I wanted to be an art teacher. It was something that was a huge deal to me. I thought it would be the coolest job ever to just create a space that people can be creative and have fun, and I think this award means that I'm doing something right.
With CPTV, I'm Gavin Chambers.
After a solid week of warm, sunny days, we are in the middle of a cold snap. Will it warm up for the holiday weekend and unofficial start of summer? Here with your 5-day weather forecast is Rana Stevens.
Thanks, Ryan and Ari. It's currently 55 degrees outside as the rain is pushing out of our area, winds coming out of the northwest at about 14 miles per hour, and the chance of rain will diminish throughout the day as we may see a few peaks of sun later this afternoon. To answer your question about this weekend, the 5-day forecast is volatile right now and changing almost every time I look at it. Mostly cloudy on Friday with a high of 70 degrees and a chance for more sun on Saturday with a high of 71. There's a slight chance of morning showers Sunday, clearing the way for some sun in the afternoon and continuing to hover around 70 degrees, then more clouds on Monday with a high of 70. The good news is that it looks mostly dry for the next 10 days, and we'll be back into the mid to upper 70s by the end of next week. That's your 5-day weather forecast. Ryan, Ari.
Thanks, Rana. CP Athletics has named the successor to Chris Seibert and new leader of CP's prestigious girls basketball program. And the boys lacrosse club celebrates senior night. Here with sports is MiRey Fernandez.
The Crown Point Bulldogs have found their new leader for the girls varsity basketball program as Brad Stengel will take over for longtime CP frontman Chris Seibert, who announced he was stepping down last month. Most recently, Stengel was the Hanover Central boys basketball coach for 4 seasons, leading the Wildcats to a 3A sectional title this past winter. Before then, he spent 5 seasons with Andrean, highlighted by a 2A state championship in the 2018 to 2019 season.
There's no doubt that there's plenty of support, and the tradition there at Crown Point on the girls basketball side is incredible, and it's something that I want to be a part of, and hoping to win at a high level, and that takes a lot of work, and there's a lot of talent there now, and the youth program has been built up to a level, and Crown Point is a place where I want to raise my family too, and I think that's been and so it's just it checked every box that I want as a basketball coach and as a and as a father of 3 daughters.
This would be Stengel's first stint as a head coach in girls varsity basketball, and he is 133 and 9-1 overall in his 9 years as a varsity boys basketball coach. Last Tuesday night, CP's boys lacrosse team hosted the Chesterton Trojans for senior night, celebrating one of the biggest senior classes for CP with 13 seniors. The Dogs, in front of a packed house in the Crown Point Flex Field, started slow, with only a 5-3 lead after the first quarter. But the Bulldogs bounced back and won big, 19-8, behind senior Braden Zimmerman's 4 goals and sophomore Ethan Ziolkowski's 6 assists.
Just meeting so many brothers, getting a whole new family. I mean, I love every single one of these guys, and I just feel like I've had so many good experiences and so many memories I'll never forget. All these guys are my brothers. I love them all. Everyone on the team, no matter how good or bad you play, they're my favorites.
And that's it for sports.
A large number of children and adolescents in Northwest Indiana suffer from food insecurity. Many of these students rely on school meals during the week for breakfast and lunch. But what happens when the bell rings? Here's CPTV's Brandon Bowling with more.
Childhood food insecurities are something that no kid should have to go through. Many kids in Lake and Porter County struggle with food insecurities. They rely on school-provided breakfast and lunch to get them through the day. But what happens when the bell rings?
This is what a buddy bag looks like. We try to make it simple and discreet so that when a kiddo takes it home that it's not obvious that it's food, that nobody would know what's in it. But it's shelf stable, child friendly. We have, like this week, we have Rice Krispie treats in there. There's oatmeal, there's boxes of cereal, Chef Boyardee's. Ramen is all the rage these days, so we're doing that. We have mac and cheese, fruit cups, applesauce, and then some sort of salty snack. Usually it's like a potato chip or a Cheez-It or something like that. Something that would a kid would appeal to and want to eat. We've grown to 739 students each week, and so that has been like that now for the last 6 weeks.
During the summer is when some of the problems arise.
Our method of distribution is through the schools. So typically we deliver to the school distributes directly to the child, they take them home. So in the summertime when school is not in session, there's the barrier because we don't have distribution. At this time, it's really just a pilot program to try to see if this is something that we can do mass distribution through all 739 kids, hopefully 1,000 by next summer.
For CPTV News, I'm Brandon Bowling.
If you would like to support the NWI No Child Hungry Foundation, scan the QR code below.
The finish line is in sight for CPHS seniors, and here's a quick look at the last week of school. Yesterday, senior graduates walked their old hallways at Solon Robinson and Eisenhower Elementary Schools for the annual Parade of Graduates, and former students of MacArthur, Timothy Ball, Winfield, Jerry Ross, Lake Street, and St. Mary's are currently walking the hallways right now. The graduation ceremony will take place on Wednesday, June 4th, with a rain-out day scheduled for June 5th. There will be a short rehearsal for all participants at 9 a.m. the morning of June 4th. And the actual ceremony will take place at 6 p.m. that evening. Make sure you have gotten your 4 free tickets from Mrs. Holbrook in the guidance office. Extra tickets will be sold at the front gates the day of graduation.
Finals week schedule is different from the past several semesters. Final exams will take place starting 1 week from today on Thursday, May 29th, with a full day of school and exams in periods 1, 2, and 3. Resource classes will meet in between each exam period. Friday, May 30th and Monday, June 2nd are scheduled half-days with dismissal at 11:22 a.m. both days. Periods 4 and 5 finals will take place on Friday, and periods 6 and 7 will have their exams on Monday. Resource period will meet in between final exams on both half-days as well. That's it for today's show, and a wrap on the 2024-25 school year, Season 10 for CPTV. Thank you to our incredible staff, of many whose names you will see scrolling in the ending credits, for taking the time to compose important news stories. And thanks to you, as always, for taking the time to tune in and for being with us. Goodbye to our seniors, MiRey, Ryan, Jordan, Sarah, Fallon, Chris, David, and Anthony. You'll be missed. Best wishes in the future.
Remember, you can view all of our past episodes on crowntownmedia.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at CrownTMedia.
For MiRey, Rana, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Ryan Welsh.
And I'm Ari Pantoja.
Take care.